Hello and welcome back to the Totally Stumped podcast, where we are joined by not only Hackison, but a special guest, which is Roseblade. Rose, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Hello, I'm Roseblade. I used to play a lot of DBD. Now I kind of just play anything, but I'm mainly an artist myself, but I also play a lot of fighting games, specifically Guilty Gear. And that's pretty much it, really.
So, where did you get your name, Roseblade?
So it kind of because my name was not actually Roseblade for a long time. The name Rose was quite a long time thing because my name was Xenoraptor Rose for quite a while. And then because my friend and me and my friend really loved Dragon Ball, and so his name was like Red Tiger or something like that. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll go blue, because it's like Super Saiyan Blue because funny. And then I thought, wait, I realized I like Super Saiyan Rose, and I was like, fuck it, why not? I'll throw that in there. So that's kind of why it stuck. But also, Rose Red is my favorite color. Roses are my favorite flowers. So it kind of just works.
Yeah, everything just like works out for you.
Yeah, so that's kind of what that. The blade was kind of just, it just sounded cool and simple, So
Yeah.
I thought it was just because I noticed a lot of people on like around the community on Twitch would try and say my name, but then they just struggle. So I just thought I come up with a simple, just easy to say name, and I thought it just stuck with it. So yeah.
Fair enough. I always find it interesting, like asking people where their names came from, like online names, because everyone says like something different.
Yeah, like you notice that some people have like names that are like very they have history, right? As I just said about mine. But then you have like some people that just like, yeah, you know what? I just thought it sounded cool.
I just
thought of it one day. I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not?
like Wise, for example, he just fucking pressed the keyboard a bunch of times.
I mean, I could see that honestly. Like, sometimes you gotta just work with what your brain says. You know what? Fuck it, bunch of letters, done.
Yeah. It's always good finding out the story, though, like if somebody has a story behind their name. It's always cool to know.
Yeah, it's always cool to know that. Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think it's just funny because it just contrasts both ways, where it's just like, it's a bit of a story behind it, and then it's just like, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I just thought of it. Yeah, it wasn't really not really that in depth, but yeah.
It was just an Xbox random name, you know yourself.
Oh my god, do you remember those? Like on the fucking original 360, you just get like a budget name, and like you kind of just, I don't know, like I knew some people kept theirs, and then I was like, yeah, I'm changing mine. I remember mine. It was like Knockdown Some 68 or some shit, and I was like, yeah.
Rinsed Abacus.
Rinsed Abacus is crazy. Oh yeah,
great name.
Brilliant.
Surely you'd stick with that. Oh, but yeah. Then what got you into streaming? Yeah.
I think it's just I really just like the idea of like I guess when especially around like friends, like IRL friends, whatever. Like I love playing games around them, and as well as my family. Like I really enjoy people watching me play stuff or playing with me. If that makes sense. And so I thought streaming was the way to go. I was just like, you know what, fuck it, why not? Plus, it's just something to because I'm quite literally a yapping person. I don't shut up. So like I talk to myself quite a lot. So I think it's quite normal. I was like, I think this is fine. And I think it works out for me as well because I don't shut the fuck up. So
you're gonna talk to yourself anyway.
Yeah, like if I don't shut up, I'm like playing a game. I think it's just fun, like it's nothing like I have a goal for anything like that. It's just a hobby at the end of the day. But yeah, that's kind of the way I view it, and kind of the way why I started streaming. So it's just like it's just another hobby to put to put into, and yeah. So
I think it's like if you're gonna do it, you might as well like show other people what you're doing. Like if you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'll always find me and Stumpy. If we get on a call, we'll just talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
I mean, the other thing was that I had a bunch of friends over in Pucky's community, and so that kind of all stemmed from there as well. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got all these. I've kind of got my own. I could work with my own community here, even though it's like obviously spread between other communities. Like that's going to happen. But even then, like I've got a bunch of friends, and we can make more along the way. I guess I'm yapping a bit, but it is what it is.
No, that's fun.
No, it's a great way to meet new people as well. Like now you've got your own wee community, and that's like the coolest thing I think. Streaming, like you start out just on your own, and you're meeting new people, and then eventually you get those like that group that sticks with you. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always good to have that. I appreciate every single person that has stuck in the community for ever since I've maybe started or they just like joined like 3 weeks ago. It's always great to have people that stick around. Obviously, that's not to like what's the right word? Disregard anybody that just pops in and says hi, whatever. It's always nice for anyone to jump in, but like the people that are dedicated, absolute giga chats.
Yeah, like when you have those people that always come back.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, on that point, you say you got into streaming. Obviously, Perky was probably a part of that. Is there any other streamers that really made you want to get into it?
To be honest, it's really hard to answer. Oh, hang on, sorry. I just ate, so like my throat is a bit fucked.
It's all good.
Okay, so I don't know. It's hard to say that because like because obviously the first game I started playing or like streaming was DBD, and the I only really like when you just like you play your games and like you run into somebody, you run into a streamer and you say hi and whatever, thanks for the games, whatever, like that was really funny, etc. Like you kind of just stop by, say hi, whatever, and then when you find the one streamer you feel like you really click with and you really enjoy their streams and you kind of just sit there, that's kind of what it was. And for sure Perky was involved with that. I think Connor definitely as well because I played a lot. I did watch a lot of Connor. Like from when I first knew about him. I think, yeah, I think there's those two particular ones really gave me the idea. It's like, why not? But yeah, at least off the top of my head.
Yeah. You mean Connor Sparky, right?
Yeah, Connor Sparky.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember whenever Perky used to stream, I was fuming when he stopped streaming because I'd only ever won my first ever race of his marbles that he did on stream, and I'd never won one since, and he's robbed me of the chance now.
Marbles on stream is so much fun, man.
It got so competitive, it was great.
Oh my god, it was amazing. Like, I don't know, like you just watch these little dots on the screen, they're just kind of just like racing on RNG. It's the most, oh god, it's so funny. But even then, like it's shit like that. It's so entertaining to watch. But yeah, no, Paul, I mean the guy's like busy now. He's got his job. He's got his I still talk to him all the time. He's literally one of my best friends. But yeah, like everyone's kind of just, he's just pretty busy now, and all the mod team have also got their own lives and stuff like that. I'm really busy at uni right now, so it's like it's kind of like, it's not, obviously I don't want to say it's good that it fell out, but it's more so like it's good in the way that it's worked out this way because yeah, he stopped streaming, but it's also good for us because we kind of got our own lives to do, but we also still friends at the end of the day. We still talk to each other all the time. But obviously everyone really wants to know when he comes back. And I mean, yeah, that's all I gotta say. I can't say that he will because obviously I don't know. I don't know I don't think he will anyway personally, but like it's just good times, But yeah. Yeah. But I can tell you the guy is fine. He's kind of like what's the right word? Kind of in leagues ranked right now, not having a great time. I think
That's never a nice place
diamond.
to be.
Yeah, no, League is a special game. Oh my goodness. I played it this morning. Played one game this morning reluctantly. I won, but It's a League of Legends. I don't know if I'm always happy about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Is it the kind of game that you play it and you win, but you still didn't have fun?
Oh, like I say this to everybody. Like League, like some people ask me, why did you play this game? Like I went to Comic-Con, like not even the what's that word? I went to Comic-Con like what is it last week? Was it last week? It was like 2 weeks ago. It was like the 25th to the 27th of October, and I had this like one person ask me, why did like they recognized my cosplay because I was Coven Ari, and they were like, oh, you Coven Ari from League of Legends? I'm like, yeah, of course. And then the one person, the other person behind the store was like, okay, so why do you play League of Legends? And I'm just sitting there like, everyone asks me this question, and it's like League is fun when you're winning, but like when you're behind and losing, you just want to like just get out as quick as possible. It's horrible. You're playing with a gamble effectively.
I don't really understand this game either. Like I know like you get money on something and then you buy stuff.
It's a lot more deeper than I wouldn't say it's that deep, but it's deeper than that.
Oh yeah.
It's like you kind of just like you kind of scale your character, like levels up as you go, and you basically off like minions and off like obviously enemy players, you get like gold, and the gold gives you items, and then you can buff your champions effectively, and then you just get stronger. But if you're behind your like laner, because there's like a laning phase, and like let's say you're playing top lane, you have like your enemy top laner and you have yourself, right? If you're behind in top lane, you're not gonna have a good time, and they're probably also gonna fuck your rest of your team over. So it's not. But if you're ahead, you're having a great time. You're having a field day. It's brilliant. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. That's kind of League. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said you're going to uni. Do you? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what are you studying?
I study comic and concept art, so I'm doing like comic illustrations and stuff like that. Because
Cool.
I have a it's like 8 years old now. 8 years old like comic project I've been working on. That my lifelong dream is to bring it to life. And it's I can't say much about it, but I can say it's about it's kind of mixing fantasy and superheroes together. So that's kind of the idea, and yeah, it's something I've been working on for ages, and so that's kind of the reason why I'm at uni, just to like perfect my skills at it, and hopefully I can push that out at some point.
Is that kind of what drew you to Guilty Gear, the art style of it then? Or like the art?
No, like I never knew about Guilty Gear, like around the time I was still working about that. I think that was more inspired by like different anime that I've watched, particularly, and obviously like Marvel and DC, like obviously they're huge inspirations for that. I'd say, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if do you guys watch anime? Like, do you know?
I would watch a few, yeah.
I
So
haven't seen too much, but
so I'd say this story is very inspired by one of my favorite works of all time. It's called ReZero. I actually just watched the latest season 3 episode just like before this podcast.
Nice.
And yeah, that's something I've met the voice actor for Subaru like in May of Comic-Con. And like it's like one of my favorite works of all time. Like the way it's written is brilliant. Like I'd definitely say Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball has a massive inspiration on it as well for colors. Oh, hang on, I'm having my door knocked on. Give me a second.
No worries.
One of my housemates knocked on my door. It's
All good.
no worries.
So as I was saying, yeah, Dragon Ball's massive inspiration. Like something I really like about art is color. So and Dragon Ball really shows color a lot, like really really well. Like obviously look at all the Saiyan forms. Look at like how just look at how just look at any Dragon Ball character. You look at them like wow, that's colorful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of those are like probably the two in particular shows that really inspired my comic. And yeah, again, like that's the reason why I'm at uni, and obviously to meet new people and network and stuff like that, because that's very important. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm working on art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then with your animes, is there any anime that like when it releases, you're just that is the one you're watching it that day. There is no like waiting. You're like, right, no, I have to see this because I know, like for me, that's Demon Slayer. I really enjoy it, and the way they've left the most recent season is very interesting.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like that's a lot with when it comes to when it comes to your favorite shows. You're like, yeah, I want to watch this day one, and then for me, it would be it's definitely ReZero. Like I saw season 3 got announced. I was like, I'm watching this day one straight away when it comes out. I do not care. What else is there? I wasn't too particularly interested with the new Dragon Ball stuff that's come out because I think there's a new show called Dragon Ball Daima that's currently airing. Yeah, but I probably will like watch it every now and when it shows up. I've been waiting for season 3 of the show called Noragami. And but it might happen now because the animation studio for that show is Bones, and they are the same studio for My Hero Academia, and I think that's also currently like it's close to finishing now. I think because the manga recently ended, and the so that means the anime is also on its way to end as well. So hopefully, I get a season 3 of Noragami now that My Hero Academia is out of the way.
Yeah, they'll have
Thanks.
stuff, nothing to do now, so they can move on to it.
I tried to watch Demon Slayer, but just couldn't get into it. It's like Attack on Titan. It's
It
just
does go
something
very slow at one stage, and then it's like I remember I had a friend watched it, and he was like, "It's just so slow. I'll give it one more episode." And that was the episode where shit hit the fan. And he was like, "Oh my god, no, this I like it." It's just that you got to get through the slow bit. That's the pain of it.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like, I really like things that pace very slowly, but at the same time, well, if they're gonna like set up a world or set up characters, etc., that's what's always great. That's always what you want to do. But you never want to pace something so fast at all.
Yeah.
But there's also a pace where it's like it's a bit too slow, and it's like, how long are we gonna get till we get to the a bit of more action? I felt like sure. With Attack on Titan, I was like, okay, first season, that's great. First episode was insane. Fucking okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Attack on Titan season 1, I'm sorry. I'm just saying this to like the general audience. I'm sorry, but like, I'm gonna spoil it right now. So mute me for like 10 seconds. I was gonna say, Aaron's mom just dies like straight away.
Yeah,
the first episode, and it's like,
brutal.
like, and I love stuff when they do that. When it like an anime does that, the first episode or the first like chapter or whatever will like envelop you with the most wild situation that just happened.
To be fair, I think the wildest thing in Attack on Titan, or like for me, the bit where I was like, "What the fuck," was the way they spend so long building up these guys training and this is spoilers, by the way, if anybody is still listening. But yeah, where they're training and you get really attached to their team, and then their first outing, like 90% of that team's dead.
Yeah.
And you're going, what the fuck have I just spent all my time getting into? Like
that's what we call good writing. That's what we call good writing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like, you build up this relationship with characters, with them, each other, but also you're building a relationship with the reader as well. And whilst you're doing that, and as a writer, when you get to the climactic stuff, you're like, oh, I'm going to break people's hearts now, and just come up with the most vile situation. They all just die, and you just sit there, you're like, oh, like, have you guys seen a show that I really, really love? I hadn't even seen it until there was like a crossover for Guilty Gear. I was meant to see it anyway. It's called Cyberpunk Edgerunners. You guys have
yes,
seen
it's amazing.
Stumpy's favorite
So
show.
I love it.
I knew it existed. I just hadn't seen it. I just didn't get time to see it. But until I saw that Guilty Gear is having a crossover with Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, they have they have what do you call it coming in next year?
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I need to watch this now. Like, and I think this is a really good time for me to watch this.
Yeah.
I watched the whole season in that one day, and I fucking cried. It was terrible. Not as in the show was terrible. The show was amazing. I literally was bawling my eyes out, and It's just the way they build the characters up.
Yeah.
You build a relationship with the characters. You're like, oh my goodness, hopefully ends in a happy end. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And nothing in Cyberpunk ends happily. So
No.
yeah.
Have you seen actually the same animators did the music video for one of the songs in Cyberpunk and introduced a brand new character as well? And in like a 4-minute song, they managed to give you the character, backstory, heartbreaking, all this stuff, and then kill them off in 4 minutes. And you're like, oh my god, how have they done that? It's like
it's exciting.
What more depression we getting, guys? Like
but the thing about Cyberpunk, it wasn't even like, I know everybody's heartbroken about David and Lucy. Whenever they out of nowhere crushed Rebecca, I was broken. I was like, nah, you can't do that. She's the best girl, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people love Rebecca. And my friend, a good friend of mine, he really loves Rebecca. And what did it? Oh my god, I saw this like Twitter announcement like recently. I think it was like a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this statue that was made. And it was literally just this second before Rebecca dies. It's like Adam Smasher, like coming down on like Rebecca's gun. And I was like, and then you could look at the comments, and they're all just like, "Nah, you guys done us dirty.
Just
That's
savage."
disgusting." And the Twitter just replied with, "My bad."
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
The heartbreaking thing about that too is the animators or the writers for that series are really well known for only doing one series of any show they do.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so they just basically, everybody was like, we need a season 2, we need to know like what happens after, and they just went, no, we don't do that, we're leaving it here.
We don't do that here.
Yeah.
I think we'll know. I don't know if they're gonna do. I don't think it's definitely not gonna be canon, but I think we'll know somewhat of a possibility what's gonna happen with Lucy and Guilty Gear. But because I know that the devs are talking about, and they're like saying, "Oh, we're doing something, we're cooking something. We can't tell you what, but we're cooking something." And
that'd be cool.
I've got my theories. I think it's going to be post Edge Runners Lucy. So, so I don't know. Like it's that's my theory so far. But
that could be really cool to see.
Yeah.
What I also love about that show as a whole, like if you've played the game, everything is based on somewhere in the game, and they even after the series was so successful brought in like you can get David's jacket, you can get Rebecca's gun.
Yeah.
Like they completely, like Cyberpunk the game and Cyberpunk the show work together to go, right, we're gonna make this as accurate as possible and as good as we can so that people can go through and see it.
I'm glad that they've gone like that length to make it tied to the story. Like yeah, Edge Runners is canon from what it looks, and I love that they've done all these little Easter eggs where you can find the jacket, you can find the gun, you can find the I think you can find the graffiti as well on the wall as well.
Yeah,
and you can find Lucy's apartment and stuff like that. Like I only recently just found Lucy's apartment in Cyberpunk, but I haven't like played more of it recently. But Cyberpunk itself is just such a fucking amazing game. It's so good.
It is spectacular.
Yeah, like I used to have the progress on my Xbox until my Xbox like did a boom. It didn't actually explode. It just had a lot of dust in it, so, and then it just wouldn't process itself. So I was like, okay,
Red Ring of
time
Death.
to get a PC. Yeah. Oh my god, that's a throwback right there. Fucking Red Ring of Death. Oh my god.
Red Ring of Death.
Yeah. It was
that was like
terrible.
every 12-year-old child's worst nightmare.
Yeah, when you got that, it was over.
Yeah.
I used to be so scared of it. Like I would every time my Xbox would have an issue, I'd be like, "Oh, please God, please no!"
Like literally, it looked so demonic. I don't know what it was. It's just red, and it's not a full circle. And it's just like, yeah, that's death. You're not getting your Xbox back. And it's like, I think what even was the problem? Was it just like a heating problem, or like?
I think there was a few things could activate it. But I love how they made it the scariest looking thing. They're like, right, let's just make it completely red so they know they're fucked up.
I don't see how it could be something that is never recoverable, though.
Okay, so it says the Red Ring of Death is a hardware failure error that occurs on the 360 when the three red lights flash around the power button instead of the on one. Yeah, okay, that doesn't really help with what I'm looking at. I guess it's just like a it has to be something within the system itself. It's not like a it doesn't look like a heat thing where it's just like, oh, the fans not working. It's probably just like an internal error thing. I don't know. Like
It reminds me of the movie The Circle.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
right
have I
now.
seen it?
It is a great movie. If you've not seen it, definitely check it out.
The
Yeah.
Circle. Let's have a look. I think I may have seen it.
It's on Netflix, I believe.
Maybe it's like about aliens abducting people and like putting them in some kind of test.
Oh, I remember seeing this. Yeah. This is like they're on like the little like red spots, right? And they have to convince each other to like yeah. I remember this.
It's such a good movie.
I'm not gonna lie,
oh
I
my
think I'd be sly in that and not tell anybody if I'd figured out the voting system. You know the way the guy told everyone and then ultimately he ended up dying? I think I'd just be sitting there secretly voting people off before somebody else noticed. I'm not. I know that sounds really harsh and really disgusting, but I think I'd just be killing people flat out before they noticed.
This is a film that like I really enjoyed, but like I've completely forgot about. Because I know that like I think it was like this. I think that one of the guys like suggested that the old people should just go first because obviously
they're gonna die next.
they're gonna die anyway. So, but I think there was the I think one of them. I think there was like the like there was like a little girl that kind of like was like a contestant or whatever, and like, she survived or something. I don't know. I can't remember, but I need to watch that film again. Like it's actually really
definitely
good.
do. It's so good.
Why am I getting a? I'm getting a Tom Hanks Emma Watson film. That's like also a thing. Okay, but that's not what I want, is it? Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely have to watch this. Is it still on Netflix?
I think so. I think it's a Netflix original.
No, it's not original. No,
Is
it was
it
on
not?
Netflix.
I think it is still on it though.
Let's have a look. I think. Wait, actually, maybe. What if I can do this? Okay, never mind. I don't think this is working. Yeah. Okay. We'll figure this out later. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, have you guys got any like favorite movies? Like your favorite movies?
Mine's a really weird one because it's a Disney one. You know Brother Bear?
Heard of it?
I love Brother Bear. I just remember watching it as a child, and it kind of just brings me back to being a child every time I watch it. And then my other one would be Sinister, which is just a weird comparison between the two.
That's an incredibly big comparison.
Yeah.
Bro, went from 0 to 100 in crazy time.
Since recently, I've rewatched them. They're my favorite movies probably ever. It's the new animated Spider-Man movies, the Miles Morales ones.
They are really good.
Wait. Like I've seen Across the Spider-Verse, but I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I just love the art style.
Oh, the animation's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like I watched that in lecture. Like they put that on in lecture, and we had a whole task to do about Spider-Man. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because the art style, it sounds exactly like what you were describing. It's just so good.
Yeah, I think they were we were doing like this task at uni called like animatics, and so they just literally gave us like they made us watch like Across the Spider-Verse like the whole film.
That's class.
I had to leave for work unfortunately. So but I only got to watch like half of it. But it was amazing film. Loved it. I didn't even see the first one. I just loved it. I loved it anyway.
The second was definitely my favorite.
I think that was the second one we watched. Yeah.
Yeah. It is,
and the task that we were given is that we had to like draw our own or like make up our own like version of Spider-Man, like any theme or whatever you want. And I think we ended up doing like an Australian Spider-Man. And then so we had like 3 people in our group. One of us was doing the Spider-Man, one of us was doing a villain, and the other person was allowed to bring any character from any fiction just to make it funny. And so my so one of my colleagues on my work, one of my group members, they did the Spider-Man. It was an Australian Spider-Man. I did the villain, so I did like this hive wasp queen. She looked pretty cool. And then my friend, who was also in their group, he got this power to bring any character he wanted. So he brought in Goku. It was so funny. Yeah, and what we had to do is kind of like draw. It's kind of like animation, but you're not really doing an animation. It's like you're drawing it, but you're drawing it in keyframes, rather than drawing it as an animation. Does that make sense? Because like in animation, you draw keyframes, but you also do the in between frames as well to like make it a little bit more fluid. Whilst with animatics, you're kind of just doing the keyframes. Um, I could be explaining that wrong, but that's the way I got from it. But it was a lot of fun. I love that. So yeah.
So then we've touched on you started streaming playing DBD. You're streaming Guilty Gear now. You've played Cyberpunk. You've played a few other games. What would be your favorite game to play and your favorite game to stream?
Favorite to play, favorite to stream. So is this like at the moment, or is this like favorite game of all time or something?
Probably all time, I'd say, would be the big one.
Favorite game of all time. See, this isn't something I've streamed. I definitely would. I don't know, because when it comes to like because my favorite game is a single player game. It's not a multiplayer game. And I prefer to stream multiplayer games. But I'd say my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. It's just the masterpiece. It's incredible. Both the original and the remake. I love them both. But then my favorite game to play on, like favorite game to stream, is probably gonna be Guilty Gear. Because I have fun. I always chill. And it's just something I just like. I can get like a bit like as you play games, you're gonna get frustrated at something. But and I'm quite an emotional person, so I can get frustrated at things quite easily. But Guilty Gear doesn't really do that for me. It just keeps me calm, keeps me chill. Yeah, I'm gonna have the off game every now and then, but it's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with Guilty Gear, and I have fun playing it as well. So
fair. I think most people's favorite game does end up being a single player game. Like I know for me, just Last of Us. The first time I ever played it, I was like, "Oh my god, I love this game," and I ended up playing it like 3 times in the space of that week.
I think that's what it is though, because like when it comes to single player games, you're immersed into a world, right? By yourself, right? But when it comes to multiplayer games, you kind of have to add in the situations of other people as well, because you're playing with other people rather than just yourself. You're not going to walk up to someone and say my favorite game is Apex Legends, because they probably fucking hate playing Apex Legends. But they play it anyway because they have friends, or like they enjoy it when they're winning. You know, it's kind of how I view League. Like I view League as a way like, hey, it's not my favorite game in the world, but I love playing it because I have friends to play it with, and if I'm winning, I have fun. If I'm not winning, I may or may not have fun. Who knows? But yeah, it's like that. I think that's probably the why people seem to have their favorite games as single player games, because it's something that you immerse into, and you, as like I was talking before about like anime and like how that's written, is that it kind of, the way it builds up its world and how it builds everything into it, how its story is written, you're kind of dragging yourself into that, and then once you've experienced the whole thing, you're like, holy shit, that was amazing. You know? I think that's probably why. It's kind of like a bond relationship thing with the story. That's probably why I think.
I feel like a good game and a good like anime are in the same sort of ballpark of like, if you watch them and you love them, a lot of the time you'll do more research into them, or like you'll look into lore, or you'll watch like videos about them and stuff like that. That's how I kind of base it on, like, oh, I must have really loved that game because I've watched it now for like a month after finishing it.
Yeah. It's definitely a writing thing, I think. But yeah, that's probably the way I put it. It's like yeah.
So, what would you say is your favorite moment ever while streaming or as a streamer?
Oh dear. That's a lot. Favorite moment.
It's always a tough one to answer, so it is.
It is hard.
You could do this either.
There's been plenty of like really like funny moments that happen. Like I remember I was streaming. We were just like doing it, just chatting, and we were watching this Jubilee video. I don't know if you guys seen Jubilee videos on YouTube, where they just
Mhm.
like it'll be like
Oh yeah.
5 okay, I can't say that on stream. 5
On stream.
it'll be like 5 British people, and they have to figure out who the British person is. It's like that.
Ah, yes, they're good.
So so we were watching one where it's like which one is autistic,
Mhm.
and I think they were what was I gonna say? It was me, Aldo, Galactic, and Deary, and they were all in chat, and basically we were like, okay, it's definitely this person because I don't know, I feel like when you're autistic, you kind of just can tell who is and who isn't. So we were kind of just like sitting down. And we're like, okay, we gotta figure out which one is which one is the real one here. And Deary was like, okay, it's the one in orange. She has I can't remember what the term is. I think it's called hang on, give me a second. I'm gonna have to Google it real quick. Alcohol. I'm spelling it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna forget about it. But it was like LSD or some shit. I can't remember. But Deary was like on the spot with it. He was like, yeah, no, it's definitely this, right? And when we got to the reveal, the lady was like, okay, yeah, it's me, and I have something called LSD, and we just fucking pissed ourselves laughing because it was like Deary was so on right, and we're just like, wait, he's crazy, he's him.
Jesus.
If there's any other times, I guess there's some recent with the recent tourney I did where people with those fucking orbitals like just blew my mind. Like that's like I've seen some orbitals, but I've never seen one just like happen in that moment, you know? Like I've seen, like obviously you see things on Twitter and like people's Twitter clips or whatever, but like when you see something that happens like in real time, it's like holy shit, you know? Seeing that was crazy. I can barely remember the very very old stuff because like like I'll be honest, like I forget very old stuff quite easily. But let me just have a look at Twitch clips. Actually, I think that's a very good have a look. Yeah.
A lot of them get saved.
Yeah, like I definitely say when I don't know if you guys play when you play Wesker, right? You flick you flick the survivor that you've grabbed, and they just randomly hit another survivor out of nowhere. Do you know how hard that is?
Yeah,
Like just happening is just so rare.
Yeah,
and I remember
to pull it off randomly instead of just like hello.
It's genuinely. I don't understand how people. I actually don't think people understand how hard that is, like to just do. Because you gotta catch it at the right moment, and it's so funny. Like I've got a clip on my channel where I just fucking piss myself laughing seeing like a Zarina just come out, get hit by like another survivor. Like she was just casually running. Like yeah, I don't know. Like those are probably some of my favorite Twitch clips. It's just me just having fun. I like having fun. People having fun. You know. It's I don't like particularly like do like charity. Like I do like I love to do charity stuff, but it's more so like I'm not a kid. I'm not a consistent streamer. I don't do streaming all the time. I'm not a full-time streamer because I just don't have the time for it. I'm a uni student at the end of the day. And but I do stream I do like to stream when I have the time and do like stream when I have the energy to because obviously when you're streaming you got to bring energy to it. So because obviously you don't want to like you don't want to come to stream with like fuck all energy and like horrible mood, you know. So that's probably the that's the stuff. Yeah, that's the stuff that I'll say on that.
So if you were to give someone who's thinking of starting to stream some advice, would that be it? To go in with your positive attitude, or to only stream when you're positive, or like what would if you had to give one piece of advice, what would you give to someone saying, right, I'm gonna start up stream next week? What do they need to know?
I would say go in with don't worry about stuff like viewer count or what other people say, like negative what you're gonna get that, right? gonna get people like that, and you're gonna also worry about like the small stuff like that. Always go in with positive energy. Don't overdo yourself because that's also a bad thing. You don't want to like put in all these great emotions, and then like when you finish streaming, you're like, oh, I need a breather,
Yeah.
like be yourself, be yourself. Like obviously be respectful and stuff like that. Have fun, and also don't treat it as a job. Never treat it as a job. It's a hobby. Like I think that's very important. Because if you start viewing it as a job, it's like a oh, I have to do this every day, like no, it's a hobby. Like you don't have to do it every day. It's something that you should enjoy and have fun with, I think.
Mhm.
But yeah, health is number one important. And then at the end of the day, just have fun. And yeah, that's probably my advice.
Yeah, solid advice.
And so you've quit DBD now, but when you did play DBD, who would you be playing, like survivor side and killer side? Who's your favorite?
So when it comes to I've a long history of DVD. I think I have like 6,000 hours in that game.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I've been playing since 2019. So like I think this is just after the Oni came out.
Mhm.
So my favorite survivor kind of changed as time went on. Like at first I used to main like I was playing Steve because I already knew about Stranger Things when I was playing the game.
Mhm.
Stranger Things wasn't the thing that got me into it. I knew of it being in the game, but I was like, oh, it's a horror game with characters from like horror stuff. That's my kind
Yeah.
of thing. Why not play it?
Yeah.
It went from Steve, it went from Yui, then it went to Jill, and then Yunjin came out, and I was like, perfect, this is it. I've got it. Stylish cosmetics. And she's pretty. Perfect. That's what I want. Thank you. So yeah, Yunjin was the character probably I stuck with on Survivor
Yeah.
all the time. It was like I did say I was like, oh, Sable's cool, and then I realized everyone plays Sable. So
True.
I was like, okay, never mind. And Sables also have a really bad reputation. I mean, so do Yunjin's, but like I think the reputation of Yunjin is kind of like relieved now. I've not seen people trashing on Yunjin the mains
Yeah, I
recently,
think
so
engines are pretty good, like middle of
Mhm.
the pack, I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah. I'd probably say that as well. Like they're kind of just, they were quite bottom for a while. I remember that. I know a lot of people didn't like Yunjin mains, but then as soon as Sable came out, we know what the worst of the worst is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like as I would like to clarify, I do not judge anybody on their survivor mains, of course not.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah,
It's a
you're
complete
entitled to play
lie.
whatever you like.
I'm gonna go and
But
cry
as
into my P100 Sable
yeah.
here.
Whoa, what's going on? You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, I
Um,
had a bet with chat, and they were like, if you don't get her done by I think it was July, then you can never play her again. I was like, yeah, I'll take that bet. Bang, P100 in mid-July. Then
He
oh
keeps
my
it on the
god.
low because he doesn't want people to know
I've
that.
actually since playing Killer started to hate her. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god. P100 Sable.
Yeah,
Stumpy. Come
I
on,
know.
man. uh, but no. As for Killer, Killer's a bit of a role that I just play all the time. Like I think that's probably where people kind of know me from, like playing a lot of Killer and like other tournaments, like other streamer tournaments and obviously Perky's tournaments. Um Killer, I would play a lot of Pyramid Heads. I would play a lot of like Demo as well. I remember that. But
Mhm.
what else do I play a lot of? I need to bring the Killers up. I am so sorry. I didn't play this game enough.
I can't believe you forgot her.
No. I'll mention her. Give me a second. The I was gonna say I really like Xeno because like Alien was like a chapter I've always wanted in that game. So, but I've never been able to play Xeno in a tournament. At least not yet, because we have
Oh,
Celestial's tournament coming soon, don't we?
we do.
But obviously everyone knows me for Sadako, because I played a lot of Sadako,
Hell
and I
yeah.
think probably 1,000 hours into Sadako. I don't even know, to be honest. I played so much of her at this point. I don't even know how many hours. It's a shame you can't check your stats though.
There actually is a website
But
for it, for checking PC stats, but I don't know if it includes console.
I don't. Yeah, it's that's the thing because like on console, like that's where most of my hours are. So
Yeah.
I don't. Because obviously, if I looked at my PC, I was like, oh, like 100 hours probably. Like I wouldn't say 100 hours in Sadako specifically. I think we'd say a good 300 maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm terrible at timing things. But Sadako is definitely the character I play the most, and not only the fact that she's just a character that applies map pressure, or has an invisibility mechanic. I really love like how her phasing works and stuff. But she's also one of my favorite horror characters of all time, so it's just perfect. So, yeah, Sadako has always been my main.
Yeah, she's the greatest.
Yeah, she's amazing. But I was gonna say, I was gonna say, I noticed that the way we play Sadako is a lot different, Stumpy, because I know you play a lot for Condemn, and you really play for your map pressure and stuff like that.
Some might say too much.
Like which is fine. Like I remember when I don't like no, this is like maybe the second rework into Sadako, where like people were like playing for Lagako, and it was like the most very boring thing, and I just I don't know. But I really enjoy phasing on Sadako. Like getting newspaper, you're just staying invisible for like a good extra second, and you're getting round piles where you shouldn't, and it's brilliant. I love it.
I actually used newspaper yesterday, so I did, and it's so good for mind gaming on short tiles.
It's so fucking good. It's amazing, and
you just can't see her.
Yeah, because like what you want to do is like you go forward and you fake the one way, or you could continue to go forward because the survivor has to guess 50-50 whether you're gonna back or not. And what's I gonna say? I like to do this funny thing called Beyblade tech, but I haven't told you about it, Stumpy, but I haven't shown you yet. And it's like it's so dumb. It's not even supposed to work, but in very situational circumstances, it can work. Where you phase, you're about to phase, right? But you have to spin whilst you demanifest, and then you don't know which way you're going. Survivor doesn't know which way you're going, so you're both kind of guessing where you're going. But if you get the hang of it, you can actually make things work. It's just so like stupid and niche, but it can work. But I really need to get you on that, Stumpy. It's so funny.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys play Billy. Like this is like pre-rework Billy. I know you could still do it with the current Billy, but
you spin
Billy,
and then
you can
curve around something
for like mind games, and then curve. It's kind of like that on Sadako, but obviously you're not a chainsaw wielding maniac, so you kind of just have to like spin, and then it's just spin like a maniac, and then you're just like, okay, right, I'm going around this way. They never know that I'm going around this way, and you win. Yeah. It's brilliant. But yeah,
I've actually found myself playing her a bit like Wraith at times lately, where I'll be demanifested, and obviously she can't be stunned when she's demanifested, so I'll be faking that I'm gonna manifest, and they'll drop the pallet, and I'm just stood there looking at them like, ha, you idiot.
I think that's probably the best change they've ever made on her. Like, oh my goodness, like I've been dying for that change to ever come to the game, and they finally did it when they reworked her for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was reading the patches. It's like the Unreal can no longer be stunned while demanifested, and I was like, oh, this is so good. So perfect.
It didn't really make sense that she could in the first place. Isn't she like non-existent at that point?
Yeah, she's like a ghost at that point, or like.
So I guess when she's demanifested, yeah, she's a ghost, but like I think when it comes to, I could be wrong on this, but obviously Unreals aren't like something that Sadako is just on herself. Unreals are like an actual like Japanese folklore. That's a real thing. And I think they can take on a physical form, but obviously they're mostly just ghosts, so they can just like be phasey or whatever. So for Sadako, it's in the same case where it's like, yeah, the manifest, she is literally ghost. She should be able to like not be stunned. She should be able to walk through pallets. She should be able to walk through. Okay, walking through walls is a bit much, but at least in the game sense of DBD. But when it comes to like demanifesting, obviously, yeah, like Unreals can take a physical form. That's why you can hit spirit. But obviously, game sense, game balancing, if anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I will say for me, that was like the best change to come in ever, because I spend a lot of chase time demanifested because I like to like push them towards a TV and teleport to it to get a stack, or I like to be demanifested to then when a TV comes on get there first.
Yeah.
So it was the
I'm
best
here
thing.
first. stack of Condemn.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna make you run to this TV. Oh, well, I guess what? I came out of this TV as well. You get another stack of Condemn. Are you gonna win this chase? Absolutely not.
That's the
yeah,
great
no,
thing about TV remote as well. Whenever you see people going close to a TV and you're just waiting, it's like as soon as you see their arm reach for the TV, it's like, nope, I'm there.
I still have not tried that add-on yet. So like
No. Oh, it's so good.
when it comes closer to Celestialstory, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. But like yeah, no, that's I never used that, like, because I always thought remote control was always a meme. I didn't think
it was until they
strong
changed it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know they changed it, but I didn't know if it was like
Yeah,
still
it's
a meme
pretty
or not.
strong now. It is.
Or is it all survivors within 12 meters of power TV or revealed to you for like, that's just nuts. Like,
Yeah, it's insane.
That's actually insane.
It's so good. That, but Bloody Fingernails, to be fair, is her big add-on. It's the best. If they made it base kit, would make her so strong. Like, it would make up for the lack of chaseability, I think.
I think we can both agree, as well as like any other Sadako players and like watching, is that Nails is one of the best add-ons on her and one of the most fun add-ons as well.
Absolutely.
It's hilariously funny. Like, you just Mach 5 out of a TV. It's brilliant.
Especially since they changed the attack. Like, you know, the way it's based on what speed you go. Whenever she's sped up, you have coup. Without having coup, it's amazing.
Yeah. Literally, you just fucking hit people from like mile 7. Like, it's brilliant. Like, oh man. Like, you watch that third person, by the way. Like, you watch anything from third person where you like Mark running out of a TV. It literally looks like Lightspeed. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, the nails is great. I think range drawing is also like a lot of fun if you build around it. Yeah,
I actually used it in a tourney recently to put pressure on everyone else. So I hooked someone who had a tape, and the other 3 who were trying to hide and stay on generators had to be pushed off gens then, because I started building stacks on them with that. It can be so underrated at times.
I think Condemned is like, I know obviously like when obviously before her rework, Condemn was like fucking like useless. You would never need to use it. But nowadays it's like terrifying. Like, that shouldn't actually needs to like, if a Sadako player knows what they're doing with Condemn, stacking that, pressuring the game up, it's kind of like a pig trap. Well, like, yeah, it's just another thing you have to worry about. And if the pig is playing Hex Totems, GG. And it's kind of the same thing with Sadako. If she's playing Condemn and Hex Totems, you are going in for a very long game. But yeah, I love everything about Sadako. It's just so much fun. But yeah.
They also accidentally buffed her in the event game mode, because whenever a survivor has a tape, they can't go in the void, so you don't see the smoke bombs as much when you play on-rail.
That's so cringe. What? Oh my god. Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't played the recent like stuff because obviously I stopped. I wouldn't stop playing the game. I will play it every now and then, but I don't regularly play it anymore. That's the way I like look at DBD now.
Fair.
Because like, I don't mind playing tournaments. Like, tournaments is always fun. Like, but when it comes to like regularly playing the game, it's just a bit mentally taxing, and it gets boring as well. I don't know what it is. It's just it doesn't hit anymore. So yeah, that's probably the way I view DBD now. But yeah, the game's still great. Obviously, like, I know like we always like mean that the devs aren't like doing the job right, but at the end of the day, it's still a fun game. It's still a fun time. It's just, I don't know. For me, it doesn't really hit anymore. But I still think I still enjoy DBD like every now and then.
Yeah.
Fair.
And obviously, you held your own tournament as well.
Yeah, I hosted 3 of them now, and I mean, thankfully, so I am no longer doing another one. But yeah, they were somewhat they were fun. They had their moments, and obviously I've made mistakes, and that's fine. Like, especially in like the last one recently, like I have a tendency to like write things horribly, maybe in like a vague or rude way, but I would never want to do that.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I will say that last tournament had mistakes. It had its problems, but obviously there were moments in that where things needed to be done, things needed to be said, and obviously I know some people. I'm not going to obviously name people because that's not the right thing to do. But I will say that obviously some people didn't agree with me, and I actually fell out with some friendships because of that, which I thought was quite childish. But yeah, that's like at the end of the day, like regardless of those situations, I really enjoyed my 20s. I think they were so much fun.
Yeah, they were a lot of
And
fun.
I yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun when you host your own tourney, and but like obviously despite all the stuff that may come with it, but yeah, that's yeah, you know when you get to a point where you talk about something, you kind of just stop and you're like, oh, what more do I say? Like that's yeah, I get that a lot. So
yeah, fair enough.
I
yeah,
will say with
yeah.
the tourney, I was gutted not to be able to like because I had to go away towards a family matter and I couldn't make it back to play Onryo for my team.
I know, yeah, I remember seeing that, and
I
I was gonna
had
say,
the build ready specifically for Perky's team, where I knew, or like I'd seen them play. I knew they were going to take hits for each other, so I had like forced penance and stuff like that sitting waiting
oh,
on
that's
them. And I was like,
cool.
I know they're coming for the hits, and I was like, I'm gonna try and condemn one of them early and kill, like, regardless of hook stages. And I know I'd only get 1 point for it. I think if I could get a condemn early enough, it would have put that much pressure on the rest of them that it would have left the game sweet. But then I was like, I was gutted. I was watching the game back and I was seeing different moments. And I was like, I would have loved to have played this game because they're all taking hits for each other.
Yeah.
I love like I was like because obviously when I see Sadako I'm just like holy shit I love seeing this gameplay. But yeah I was gutted to like miss the fact that you're playing Sadako, but
One of these days.
yeah no like are you hosting Celestials with Celestial?
I'm gonna be casting it, so
You're right, so you won't be playing though.
yeah, I'm gutted about that, but I want to get more like
so
commentary in.
we don't get our mirror match. What is this? Oh man, that's
Unbelievable.
yeah, I know. That's fine. But hopefully you can see mine.
Absolutely.
If it happens, but I know nothing of how that's gonna work at the moment. But yeah, excited for that. But at the end of the day, like Tony was great. My Tony series was so much fun. I loved it. And yeah.
Some of the games were just insane. Like some of the skill sets on the show were mental.
Oh my god! Like some games were just like straight up like you had teams where like some of them were like we were getting through it, right? And then the next game was just like the killer just came in. I think it just came in 4K'd within like 5 minutes, and it was like, oh good lord, man.
Yeah.
Like that was a game. Like I remember seeing the I think it was the what's the name? What Survivors were playing? I can't remember what Survivors were playing. I think it was Team Nathan is goated the last 20. And it was like my friend Nathan JB, my other friend Nathan, and I think it was my friend Aldo, and I don't know who the fourth person was. I can't remember, but they were all. It was Moosh or Zach, as everyone knows him now. It was that team, and they were going against Celestial's Dracula. That was a game to watch. That was incredible. And trying to cast that killer is a nightmare. Like just goes to straight to like wolf to vampire to bat to wolf to I just like
where he's gonna go as well, because he can be in chase with one person, then just teleport to a window and then be on someone else.
Exactly. Like it's just such a like strange killer, and I found it so funny because one of the Nathans and Aldo, like they'd never played against Dracula before, so that was their first time playing against Dracula, and it was like I remember like talking to them after, and they were like, "Yeah, I never want to face that killer again." It was brilliant.
Oh yeah, somebody was saying they were screaming like during the game.
Yeah.
Whoever it was that lives with them was like, you can hear him screaming in the other room.
Tony's
Celeste is a really good Dracula, to be fair.
Oh, she's unbelievable. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like just seeing that was fucking immaculate. It was cinema. Yeah, Tony lives Nathan, and she was like, yeah, I can hear him on the other side. I can hear him from the other side of the room. He's just shouting, he's screaming. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think it was so much fun to watch. What else was there? Like like I was just saying about the teapot game as well, where like there was the orbital that just came out of nowhere that just happened. Cross maps from like from K and cross maps from like teapot are just nuts.
Yeah, K's insane as well.
Yeah, like there was some of the games were incredible.
Was it Teapot as well, just for like funny moments in a tourney that ran the all feet build?
Yes, Teapot did run the all feet. I was like, I remember Galactic said to me, "Look at Teapot's build," and I was like, "Oh dear God!" And I just saw light-footed, fucking God, what's that one Ada pack called?
I was thinking that one. Low profile, is it?
Low profile, yeah. And then there's the fucking like sprint burst and shit like that. Like it's just
Sprint
like
burst
what? And like Teapot changed his name to Feet Pot, and I was like, what are you doing? Oh God!
Bad build either, to be honest.
No, not at all.
It's so based though. It's like on a real, it's kind of based. But it's also just like, oh my goodness, you could just tell like DBD love their feet. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
That's the best moments in tourney though. Whenever somebody thinks of something like that and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." Boom.
I'm gonna be Dr. Feet, and I'm gonna be playing nothing but feet pucks. I'm gonna be playing barefooted. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like those Steves that you see every now and again in pubs, and I don't know why it's always Steves, but they have like every perk on that can make them scream. So they're just screaming the entire time.
They just hear It's like, shut up, please. Oh, like fucking like scene pot though, like fucking oh God. That's the only, like,
I think there's something else, isn't there?
Right?
Dramaturgy,
Dramaturgy definitely does that, but that's like a 1 in 4 chance of happening, right?
Yeah, but it's so funny because it's always like you hear this relentless screaming, and it's always a Steve, and you're like, what the fuck?
All of the new characters have like fucking spine-chilling screams, to be fair.
Which is, I think, is good because like you look at the older characters and they're kind of just like, oh. You have like the newer characters actually screaming in pain as they should be.
They actually sound like they're
like you look at friggin' Leon, that guy is like definitely not screaming, he is moaning.
I was gonna say there's certain characters and it's like they just turn around and like, oh, you want me to scream? No, we want you to moan into the mic. We'll use it in a painful way, don't worry.
They're like,
oh
okay,
God, like
so put yourself in this position. You just got through impaled through the shoulder, and the guy's like,
and they're just like, oh, it's like, what? Like, huh?
Jokes on you, I'm into.
Are you a masochist? Like a crazy masochist? Like, but no, like, I think the way they're taking the audio direction for like screams is perfect because like that's what should be like heard, right? If you're getting impaled by a hook, you should be screaming your fucking like lungs out. The what else was there? The do you guys remember the old Kate scream? Like it was just horror. Like it was literally so bad to the ears. I think it was like so. If you go on like YouTube or something, Google like or like YouTube the old like Kate scream. It's so high pitched. It sounds demonic. It's so bad. I think there was another survivor that had a problem with that as well, but I don't remember. It was definitely after Kate, but it was another survivor that had that problem where they had like a horrible scream like sound, and they had to change it. I think it was Elodie that had it, but definitely have a look at that, and you'll see what I mean. Like it's so bad.
See, I always loved when there was that glitch whenever you put a survivor on hook and you could hear them like scream for way too long. And they scream for like a good 5 seconds and you're like, Jesus, they were really hurt by that one.
And it was always bad with Leon and Steve because they had like the longest ones and they also sounded horrible. So it was just like, and you're like already like chasing the next survivor. You're like, Jesus Christ, you good?
You guys ever have the glitch where the person dies on the hook, but you can still hear them struggling on the hook?
Yes,
I still like. Is that not still a thing? Have they not
I
changed
it
don't
is.
that?
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, yeah. I hear that. I'm just like, oh my god, like I get it. It's a minor bug, but please get
It's
it.
pretty
Get
funny
it
to
away.
me.
I don't want to walk past the hook and just hear someone invisible just like cry. It's like,
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah.
playing Silent Hill.
That's some of the
Yeah.
Or, like,
characters. It just sounds like
they die.
moaning coming from the wall, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Or someone dies in the basement, and then they're fading soul flies past you.
Yeah, but yeah, so many good times in DVD. What made you quit, or like, what was the final straw where you went, you know what, this game's not for me anymore, or like, have you fully quit or just quit on stream?
I haven't quit like straight away. Like I haven't quit like flat like that. Like no,
Mhm.
it's like a I think I'll come back to. It's something I don't enjoy playing regularly. But I would like to play. I don't mind playing it every now and then. You know, like something to come back to. Because obviously, with the games that you play all the time, like for example, Guilty Gear, I play at the moment like all the time. Because of Dizzy is my favorite character that I've been waiting for like 3 years. Um, like I've been playing that now a lot more regularly. I play League a little bit more regularly, but like with these games, you will get bored of them. And obviously you want to turn to older games, and so yeah, I'll come back to DVD every now and then. If I'm like asked to play in a tournament, or if there's a tournament I'd see that could be played in, I don't mind playing them. I don't mind picking up DVD again for another 3 weeks just to relearn the game, play the tournament, and then drop it again. Like it's something that I like to go back to every now and then. As for why I stopped playing DBD regularly, um, I definitely think it was a mental thing because when you play a game for so long, you feel like you get a bit too attached to it.
Yeah.
Um, and that was something that I had when I remember doing a hardcore race with Connor, and just playing Sadako just felt really frustrating at that time.
Mhm.
And it felt like everyone was burning maps, everyone was playing horror, playing to the worst degree. I don't know what it was like, and that you needed, and because obviously I put pressure on myself, putting a challenge on myself as well at the same time. So it was um, I need to do this, I need to win this or whatever.
Yeah.
And also I just every game I played was just boring. So and then when it comes to that point, it's like, why are you playing it? If you're
Yeah.
not getting any enjoyment out of it, why are you playing it? But I think it's because I was playing it too much. I was playing it all the time. I needed a break from it. And it was probably the best decision I made because playing DBD every day was miserable. I'll be honest. It was I
That's
was
fair.
forcing myself to play something on stream that I didn't want to. And I felt like people weren't going to be interested in me playing another game other than DBD because obviously that's where most people would know me from.
Mhm.
And I thought, you know what, I'm sick of being afraid of playing something different for once, and so that's when I remember I just hadn't had a good time when I was doing that, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do something different. And this is where I became a variety streamer, so I don't mind doing whatever the fuck I want on the stream now, and whatever other people want to see, I do art on stream every now and then. I watch YouTube every now. We just do I yap. That's just what my stream's all about now. It's just kind of just yapping and just having a great time. Um, and now with Dizzy and Guilty Gear, I'm training for EVO, which is the biggest fighting game tournament in the world.
Oh.
And it's in Las Vegas, so I'll be visiting there next year. And that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. But DVD, it's not a game I hate. It's just a game that I don't enjoy to play regularly. Because it gets boring, or that I don't know. I've also had just horrible interactions with DBD players as well. More than I have had good interactions, if that makes sense. Um, at least recently. Probably not all the time, but definitely not all the time. I've met lovely people, but that's it. Yeah, it's just some people in the community, and also just the game itself can get a bit tiring. That's probably the way I looked at it, but I don't mind coming back to it every now and then.
Yeah, I feel
So
like
when you
there's
come
been a
back to
state.
it,
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say when you come back to it now, does it feel better, like a better game to you than it did
Yeah,
before?
yeah, because it's like you've had a break from it. You're like not really expecting to like win or not expecting to like get anything out of it. You're just there to chill, you know.
Mhm.
And the I think that's the way I like. Yeah, that's it. It's just I just have a chill. Like I'm not trying to like pressure myself into doing something, and I think I think that's what I meant by mentally. It's just something that just really fucked with me in the head, and I learned that taking a break is a good thing, So and it really helps like ease that off. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
I feel like the game is in a far sweatier place now as well, like from both sides. And I think there was like, I don't know where the change was that was made to the game, but it just gradually got that bit sweatier and sweatier over the last while, and each side is pushing the other further and
Yeah,
further.
it's just a very much. You guys know the us versus them thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much that, and I don't know, like I think it's just very childish. Like some people in the community are very childish. Some players are just very childish. Like it's just I don't know. I hate it. But like, but then you also have really nice people that play DBDs. So I don't think the community is entirely horrible. It's just yeah, the game has become a lot bit more competitive now. And I don't know why because you're not really winning anything from it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like the only thing you're winning from a DBD game is blood points to level up your characters and get more add-ons and fucking rift passes. That's it. Like I don't understand where when people have to play it to a competitive like state where like they have to get a 4K otherwise their family is going to be like shot the next day.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like it's so strange to me, but um yeah. It's a bit sad, but at the end of the day, the game isn't like the game's not unplayable, So
Mm-hmm.
it's just yeah, it's just sad that it's like that.
I feel like some of the best games are whenever you're just like memeing around with builds and stuff, but just having the crack. Like the likes of the hardcore challenge view, and then I've done streaks lately, and when you put that sort of pressure on yourself, that's when the game can become really unenjoyable, and you're
Like
like, Jesus,
tough,
there's so
yeah.
much pressure.
Yeah, like I remember I've done hardcore before as well, actually. I've done hardcore like I did hardcore. I did two hardcore challenges before I started streaming, but
Yeah.
I think I did one on stream before, and it was like it wasn't terrible. It was actually a lot of fun. But as you said, like when you put challenges on yourself, it's horrible and it's stressful and it's like, get me out, when you know you're gonna lose something. And I remember one time when I did a hardcore challenge, when you lose one of the killers you play all the time, you lose that
Mm-hmm.
killer, and you're like, it's over, it's so over. Like I've had that before. Like I think I lost spirit, and I was like, it's GG, it's cooked. Like I can't win this now.
Yeah.
Because I've got these killers that I barely play. And how am I winning on the killers I barely play compared to the ones I play the most? But I think there's a lot more that goes into it because obviously
Mhm.
you have killers that you don't play because obviously MMR is a thing. So like you have killers that you don't play, you get easy MMR. But then you got killers that you play all the time, we have harder MMR, and it's like, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's probably what it is. But yeah. It's I think putting challenges and stuff like that is stressful. Like if you have the mental to take it on, fair enough, that's good. Like I support people that do that. Um,
Mhm.
but if you know you can't handle it, don't do it. It's not worth. It's so not worth, especially in a multiplayer game. Like, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried the
So
Perkless Sadako there recently, and that was when I was like, right, it's time to stop
yeah.
doing streaks. So this
Yeah,
is just pain.
yeah. It's like I don't understand how you could do that to yourself. It's Parkless Sadako sounds horrible. Like um
It actually
I think
wasn't too bad because you get a lot of respect for it from the survivors. They're like, "Ah, oh, you're doing perkless, fair play." Or somebody will just go, "You're clearly cheating. Like you're doing perkless."
I know I've done Parkless Sadako in a tournament before.
Oh, that'd be
And
sick.
that was fun. That was so much fun. And but like the it just to hear that you have to go perkless in a game, it's like, oh, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the
luckily I
state
did
it
win
got
that.
to. I think where I was going,
Yeah.
right, when do I continue the streak? Because perkless Sadako gonna be pain.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, I guess when you're playing a killer that's like, if you're playing, let's say, a little like traditionally stronger killer, maybe like Huntress or something, it's not as bad, right? Because like Huntress has a snowball potential, right?
Mhm.
But when you're playing a killer that's not got like that, like Sadako, it's like, what do I do here? Like I can play condemn. I can I can still play phasing, but like one of the survivors going to pop the first 5 gens. So how quick is that
Yeah.
going to be? Because you don't have any regression, you don't have any slowdown, like general slowdown. Like you don't have your sloppy butchers. So like
You've nothing in
know?
chase to help you.
Yeah, literally. No
It's just you
coup,
and your
nothing like
TVs at
that.
that stage.
Yeah. You got your TVs, yourself, and your own mental. That's it.
Yeah.
Which one's gonna deteriorate first? Yeah.
Yeah. So now that you quit DBD, you're streaming Guilty Gear, right?
Yes.
So what kind of game is that? Like, what do you do, and why do you enjoy it?
Guilty Gear is a fighting game, so it's a traditional so it's like a traditional 2D fighting game, like Street Fighter and stuff like that. But it's like they call it 2.5D, so it's like 2.5D. So you're playing a 2D fighter, but with 3D modeled characters.
Okay.
And the Guilty Gear is a JFG, which is called a Japanese fighting game. So unlike like Western fighting games where it's quite clunky, it's quite slow. To an extent. Guilty Gear and Japanese fighting games are very much like air dashing. It's very fast paced. And I like things that go fast. So, Guilty Gear is just a very fun fighting game. It's very simple now. It used to be very difficult to play before the current game called Strive. Like Xrd and Accent Core were really difficult to play. But Strive is very beginner friendly. It's very easy to play. It's literally just beat each other up. And you have all these different characters that are so diverse. And the story is very stupid, but in a very fun way. Like it doesn't make sense. None of it does. But you love it so much for that. Like it's so goofy. I love Guilty Gear. And the main things to take apart from Guilty Gear, other than its lore and its characters, is the soundtrack. Guilty Gear is very close to like Western rock, and like what's the word? Like inspiration from Western rock, especially like stuff like Queen, because the guy who created Guilty Gear, he's a composer and a writer. He composes both the music and writes the story of the game, and create all the characters and everything. Like he's crazy. And everyone in the community says Dice Kid's vision. He knows what he's doing. He composes all the music, and they're like fucking bangers. It's just straight up it's metal rock, pop rock. It's everything. And Strive really takes that in a very different way, where it's not just it's not just guitars riffing all over the place. It's also just genre changing. There's like really poppy music now in the game. And it's just so diverse in the way it is. And it's just a really simple, amazing game. And I've been playing fighting games for years, and I think this is the one that's really clicked with me. And I said, hey, I really like this fighting game. I love the characters, I love the story, I love the music, I love everything. I listen to music every fucking day. So it's just rock is my thing. So yeah. And to know that I've got a bunch of friends that play JFGs or just fighting games in general, and to know that I'm going to Evo next year is so much fun. So I'm very excited for experiences like that. So yeah, it's just a fighting game. You have your two characters, you fight each other, you have your beta, you have your burst, etc. It's very simple. But yeah.
Obviously, it's a lot deeper than that for you.
Oh, it's a lot deeper than that, because obviously when you're playing like to a competitive like level, you've got to learn like frame data. You got to learn like plus some blocks. and like recovery, startup frames, etc. Like there's so much you gotta learn. But to like the average person, obviously you don't want to dive into anything technical like that. So like I could tell you 236K and you won't even know what that means. So yeah.
I just press the buttons as fast as I can.
Yeah, we call that button mashing. There's a whole like glossary called, I think it's called Infill. Or the guy who made it's called Infill. But there's a whole glossary to fighting game terms because like fighting game has its own language. So you could say stuff like DP. DP means dragon punch, which is technically like an uppercut, like an invincible uppercut.
DP means something else to people who don't know about that.
I think I'm missing a joke here.
Double and then a P word.
Oh right, yeah, no. I will wait. No, oh, that's so funny. Actually, I was reading a tweet with when I was on I was on the phone to someone, and I was reading a tweet, and it said DP, and I was like, oh, I read that as Dragon Punch. I was like, oh, were they talking about something else? So yeah, no.
DP.
So yeah, there's like stuff like that. There's like happy birthdays, which is like only happens in like versus games where you have like 3 characters getting hit by one like attack or one combo and they all get knocked out at once. It's called a happy birthday. It's I don't know, like the fighting game community is so much fun because you have your own languages, language. You have like people talking trash talk to each other. Like it's that's why I love fighting games. It's just a lot of fun. Like yeah. And Guilty Gear is just something I'm probably gonna stick with for years now. So
fair. So then you've got your big tournament coming up next year. You've got Celeste tournament coming up this year. Is there anything else you're gearing up for streaming wise, or like any big events that you're gonna stream, or anything just you're aiming to do streaming in the next, say, year?
I hope to stream some stuff to do with my comic. I really want to do that. Ooh. It's just very much it's very much dependent on whether uni wants me to, because I'm getting a lot of coursework to be done, and I need the time to be able to stream and stuff. So that's kind of the reason why I don't stream often. So it's really depending on uni and work and stuff like that. So, but when it comes to stuff I want to plan, it's definitely that. It's definitely something I want to like stream, like designs, or like maybe just do it's like a co-working stream of like just writing the story or whatever. Obviously not to give any spoilers away, I'd never want to do that. But you know, just something chilled, you know.
Like drawing a character.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. But nothing like intensive, you know. I'm in the process of rebranding though, because obviously now I don't play DBD regularly on stream anymore. And I'm changing everything to Dizzy now, so no more Sadako stuff. So all my Sadako
emotes gone.
Yeah, all my emotes gone, all my profile pictures, everything's gone. And it's all being remade. But my friend Holly, she's you know, Perky's Holly, she's doing all my emotes for me every day. She's like redoing all of them in Dizzy's and the team of Dizzy's. So and I've seen some of them. They look really cute and they look really good. So I'll probably have those for like next week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I know someone who wants to borrow your Onryo emotes.
Yes, yeah, borrow.
Borrow, yeah. No, I did all those emotes. But like I just don't have the time to do my own emotes anymore. So
fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So if we're moving away from like more gaming now, going into more like entertainment, like video entertainment, what would be your favorite movie? I know we kind of covered this a little bit earlier, but like what's yours, and like kind of a bit of detail on why?
My favorite film? I have a lot of favorite films. I'd say one that I really particularly love to like watch like anytime is I Am Legend.
Great movie.
Will Smith. Amazing film. Loved it. It's emotional. It's the pacing's good. I don't know what it is. I love films that are very like not too crowded. I think there's a really cool films, like, you know, films that are just like quiet. Like A Quiet Place is a good example.
Quiet Place.
It's just a few characters and that's it. Like and it's not just like a bazillion characters all at once. That's also great too, but it needs like the build up, like how Marvel did the Infinity Saga with Thanos and shit. Like that was really well done for how it's all built up. But when it comes to just one film being all of that, it's just like, oh, it's a bit much. But
yeah.
I Legend is like one of my favorite films of all time. I really love Venom, the first Venom film. I know a bit of a controversial take on that, but
yeah, that's interesting. I do like it, but a lot of people don't.
I know a lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it. And I definitely would watch that all over again. And I think another film that I really, really enjoyed, Alien, the very first Alien. I think fucking masterpiece that film is. I know a lot of people would prefer the second Alien film, like Aliens, but again, amazing film. But I love the whole, like I said before, I love the whole like thing where it's just a short cast of characters, and it's just this plot that happens between those 5 characters, and it's brilliant. Yeah, I think those like some of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that about half the people listening are having the same problem as me right now. We're all there thinking about, since you mentioned I Am Legend, is that one sad scene. And I'm not going to name what scene it is, but we all know.
I think we know what scene that is.
That one scene that just rips your heart out completely.
Yeah. You just sit there, you're like, oh my god. Oh, that reminds me. It's. Oh, hang on. When it comes to like stuff like that, like emotional films like that, and they rip your heart out like that. There's this one film that I watched. I thought I could test my mental stability. I was like, you know what? There's some pretty bad films out there. Let's see how far I can go. Because I've watched a lot of horror stuff, so I'm like I've watched the new Terrifier film, and I've watched the rest of the other 2 ones as well. They're fucking horrible. Like they're good films. Don't get me wrong. It's just the way they handle kills in that film is like outrageous. But there's this one film that I watched where it just broke me, and it was a film called A Requiem for a Dream. Like you've probably never heard of the film, but like if you hear the soundtrack, you probably heard it from somewhere. Like the theme of the film, but it's like this whole thing where it follows a lady that wants to go on television, and she does get the opportunity to go on television, but she has to or like she's very self-conscious of herself, and so she tries to like eat less or something, and it starts fucking with her mind, and it also follows her son who's like got like addiction to drugs or something, and it just gets like the film starts off pretty fine, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I shit you not, I felt like shit on that night when I finished that film. I was like, I took a picture of myself before watching the film and then after, and I was like, oh, I'm never doing that again. But yeah, I appreciate the film for what it was and the way how it affected me as a watcher. Is that the right word to say? A watcher, a viewer. That's better.
Viewer, yeah.
But and I imagine having the same impact as well. Like, it's just something that makes you upset. Like, I feel like everyone has that film or many films that have made them upset. And I will say this: How to Train Your Dragon 2 definitely had that effect on me. But
How to Train Your Dragon is such a good series of movies.
Love How to Train Your Dragon. I grew up on that shit. Like, I played the DS games and shit. I watched all the films. Is there not another one coming out? Like another film coming out?
I think so, but I'm not sure what they can do now. Like, you know what I mean? They've sort of, I think they've covered
finished it.
A lot of it. Yeah.
I
know there's a new Shrek. We're all excited for that one.
Oh my goodness, there is one coming out in 2025, 13th of June.
It must be following Hiccup's kids or something, is it?
Oh, I see. They're remaking the first one, basically. Yeah, they're doing a live action. Oh, yeah, now I get it now. Yeah, they're doing a live action of the first film.
That's tragic.
I don't know how that's gonna turn out.
How do you feel about the live action remakes that they keep doing? Like, I think they just need to come up with new ideas. Some of them have been absolutely horrible.
So I think most of them have been absolutely horrible. I think there's been some that have been like, you know what, not bad. I can't remember which ones they were though. I know I've seen a live action remake of something. I was like,
live action.
Not that bad. Oh, don't even start. That was fucking horrendous.
It's the worst movie ever. No, actually, Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
Oh, that was
even the worst movie ever.
Yeah, no, that's so funny.
I think I've slagged it off in like 5 podcasts now, but it's just so bad.
It's so bad, man. Did you remember the recent one on Netflix that came out, and it was like, "Do anything, you're cancelled, bro," and I just said that.
Oh no, that was the moment. That's when I think this movie's fucked.
Yeah, like the only good thing about that film was the ending. The ending was like, "Oh shit, that was crazy," and then that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is that it? Is that all is that all I'm getting from that film?" I think the original 1970, I think 1976 came out. The original, that was actually that was a hard film to watch, but it was good for what it was. I actually really liked that one. But like every other TCM films, fuck off. Like they're so bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's like the only TCM film I actually really enjoyed. That was the first one, and I don't know if have any of you guys read upon how that film was made. Apparently, it was horrible. Like they had to like film like horrid heat because obviously they're in Texas, and they had like actual like dead like stuff around, so like the place stunk. It was horrible.
That actually reminds me of, I seen a thing recently. You know the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie? They used real dead body or like real skeletons.
What?
Yeah, the entire like first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Every time you see a skeleton, that is a real skeleton. There was also the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland had real skeletons until they removed them, but there's still one skull that is still real on the ride, and it's like on a plaque up on the wall of the ride.
That is terrifying, and also supposed to be. Shouldn't that be illegal? Like,
I think that's why they had to remove them. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's someone's cops who use it.
Whose idea was that in the first place?
I don't know, but supposedly first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and you do see a lot of skeletons in that movie, but every one of them is meant to be real.
Why though? Like
I don't know.
I get for like the thing of like, oh, we only use the real stuff, you know. But like that's a dead person. That's a real dead person you're using. So.
Do you think they like signed a contract for that? Like,
I don't know. Things might have been more lax back then or something.
So, can we dig up your husband, Margaret?
After your passing, are you willing to give your skeleton for entertainment purposes?
Would you like to donate your organs to science and your skeleton to Disney?
Oh my god, skeleton to Disney's crazy though. Like,
well, that's what Hugh Jackman did.
Oh my god, like it's like with all the history that Disney's gone through, like to have that written on a form. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Terrifying but hilarious.
For some reason when you said Hugh Jackman, it's immediately reminded me of Deadpool, and I think they are some of the best movies that have come out lately.
Yeah.
They're so good.
He gave his skeleton for Deadpool because he dug it up at the start, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I think some of the best films that I've watched this year are like obviously Deadpool and Wolverine, but also Alien Romulus was so good.
Yeah.
And I really do, as much as like how fucking fucked it was, Terrifier 3 was actually pretty good. And I like the fucking earnings out of that film, by the way. I think it cost like $2 million to make, and it made like $60 million overall at the box office.
Jeez.
Like 60 out of 2 was nuts.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that's just a massive margin. Like how do you like that's I don't know. I guess people just found it in the mainstream now, and that's where it's like popping off.
I guess if you have movies like Infinity War as well, which the budget was ridiculous.
Actually, let's have a look. I actually don't know what the budget was. I know it was massive.
It's way more for Endgame because they got so many characters in that movie.
You know what actually got a higher budget for its sequel? I say recently, it was what, 6 months ago? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh my god.
Because the second one came out. The second one's not as bad as the first one, and they actually played off that the first one is a movie in the second one's universe, which is cool. But it's they got, I can't remember, they spent fuck all on the first movie, and because everybody was so hyped about it, they got so much money back.
It said 100 grand. 100 grand for budget on the first film.
On which film? Winnie the Pooh?
No, that was for the film. That was just a film entirely. Like it was 100,000.
God, and they made millions, I think. I want to say millions.
So the second one grossed 7.5 million worldwide on a budget of 500 grand.
Jesus.
That's crazy. That's money, dude. That's called profit.
And they've actually got, what is it, Bambi, Peter Pan, and Pinocchio horror movies all coming out too. The same guys.
Yeah. What, like, where is it coming from? Like, what?
It's because the characters are all in the public domain. So, like, Winnie the Pooh 2, or like Blood and Honey 2, has Tigger in it now because he entered the public domain at a later date than the rest of the cast. So they were allowed to put him in, and he's a creepy fucker in it.
Bro, this is my childhood just turned into a horror film. Like,
yeah.
It's so bad. Like, I don't know, man. But what the fuck are they gonna do with Bambi? Like, just make a killer deer?
Yeah, like, that's the plan.
Is that it? Just a killer deer? Okay.
The Peter Pan one's fucked though. Have you seen? So obviously everybody knows Disney's Peter Pan, and he's this guy that takes people off the Netherlands and stuff. But have you ever seen the lore of like where they took that from?
I haven't.
So like the original, I don't know if it's the original story of Peter Pan or based on like an actual person. Let's hope it's not. But he's a predator that kidnapped children.
What?
And that's what they went and turned it all wholesome and family friendly as just a guy that brings a young kid that brings other kids to Neverland. But if you look back to the lore that they got that from, he was a predator, which is mental.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I only seen that the other day. I'd seen somebody talking about it. I was like, there's no way that's true. Looked it up. Yeah, supposedly it's true.
That's actually fucking crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So I think that's the basis of that horror movie. They're putting him back to what he was, if you know what I mean. Which is fucked.
Oh wait, no, I definitely have seen the trailer for this, but I'd have to rewatch it again to remind myself. Yeah, no, this is fucked.
It's gonna be so weird seeing like our entire childhoods just laid out as horror movies now.
Yeah, this it's what 50 years of like fiction is done now. Like once it reaches, I think it reaches 50 years or like 80 years or something, it becomes public domain and everyone can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Fucking Teletubby horror movie's gonna go hard.
Oh no! Oh no! I actually grew up on that too. Wait!
That's gonna happen eventually.
Wait until they do Thomas the Tank Engine, man.
Oh my god!
I could you imagine? Oh lord!
That'd be amazing.
I don't know, fucking Thomas the Speed Bullet Train or some shit.
There's just these tracks where there shouldn't be tracks, and he just nails them.
Bro becomes like HS3 or some shit, and just like comes through like people's houses and stuff. I don't know, like that's how. Oh god, that just to think about, like, yeah, like anything from your childhood just be turned into a horror film is like, it's funny, but it's also like, what?
Yeah,
like I don't know what to think about that.
There's so much opportunity. Fucking horror SpongeBob and shit like that could come in like 30 years whenever that hits the public domain.
Horror SpongeBob, dude. Like, what else I grew up on? What if they did like a horror movie of Ben 10?
Oh my god. They actually could very easily because he becomes aliens. Let me say.
Yeah.
They could make the aliens like grotesquely realistic looking. So
I mean, they did that. They did do a live action Ben 10.
Yeah,
like, and they look terrifying. But for a horror movie, it would like make that like 10 times more impactful, I think.
Tom and Jerry, but they've both got rabies.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Parents.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Oh lord. I mean, as long as Cosmo is still based, that's fine. I love Cosmo. What a cool character.
Oh, he's so funny.
What's the one scene? I keep watching it. It's so funny. It's like we've come for the person you call mom, and it's like, what? You have a perfect civilization. Why would you want to add a woman to it?
Literally
So
just thinking
fucking
about
rude.
he
Yeah.
just comes out with the most outlandish shit.
Out.
In the
You
middle
just
of
don't
like a
think,
normal
yeah.
scene, Cosmo will just say something wild, and you're like, "What the fuck, Cosmo?"
It's like James in Pokemon, you know. He also says like the most fucking outlandish shit as well. Like the
Yeah.
let's show this outline, like let's show these women what they deserve or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
Have you ever seen Pokemon Abridged? By the way, it is so funny.
I haven't though. I haven't watched. I don't really think I've watched any Abridged stuff. To be honest.
There's a great bit where Ash meets Misty, and he's like, doesn't know how to talk to women, and he just goes, "I've never met another girl other than my mother. I wonder if the same rules apply." And he just goes to her, "I love you. What's for dinner?" And she just punches the shit out of him. Oh, but yeah, no, the horror will be interesting in the future as they adapt more and more shit. Imagine Pokemon horror. It'd be fucking insane.
Oh, that would be fucked. That would be so
It would be mad.
Show the Pokemon inside the ball like having a panic attack. It's like,
oh my god, dude! Like no, like they could really like if they did like a Pokemon horror film, they could really go really deep with it, right? Where you have like how do people like you think about like how do people in the Pokemon world like eat, right? How do they eat meat? Are they eating other Pokemon?
They're bound to, aren't they?
Well, yeah, there's no like animals. Is there?
Yeah.
Because like I think you can. I think like the thing that they do is like they eat like Poketails or some shit.
Oh yes, that's right.
But like, what did they just like cut up open a fucking Chikorita or some shit? Like how like they could go really like crazy with it, and that's scary enough in itself.
To be fair, have you seen the Japanese version? Like the difference between sort of the Western version and the Japanese version is in the original like manga and anime, the Pokemon died after every battle. So it like wasn't. So maybe that's how they get their meat. It's like, you lost. Unlucky Pikachu. You're gonna feed me the
At least I
night.
get dinner for 2. Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna feed me dinner tonight. Yeah, thank you very much.
That's dinner for tonight, though.
Fire up the stove, chop it all up. Yeah, God. God, that's I don't know. Like I haven't even seen the Japanese version. That's crazy to me though. Like, but what's even worse to me is that like there's like literal Pokemon that kidnap you. Like,
is there?
fucking like I think that's like Hypno or some shit. Like kidnaps children. It's horrible.
Oh dear God.
Like there's fucking what else is that? It's like I think it's Litwick. That's like the souls of dead children. And it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Dear God. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, like there's some like Pokemon lore is like terrifying and deep.
Who's your favorite Pokemon, by the way?
Oh, are we talking about are we doing like legendaries, non-legendaries?
Anything. Any Pokemon you can think of.
Okay. I'm gonna say 2 in particular. I really like Mewtwo. That's my favorite
He's
like
cool.
of all time. But I also really like Ninetales. Sorry. Ninetales. I do like Salamence as well. There's a uniform Pokemon I really like, Greninja. I thought the Greninja was cool as fuck. Yeah. Sceptile was also really cool. Like, I think these are some of my favorites. Yeah. I think Darkrai's a badass. Like the film, have you seen the Darkrai film?
I don't think I've seen that one. No.
That's fantastic. I absolutely recommend watching that.
Yeah, I've just loved Jolteon since the start. I just think he's so cool.
Jolteon. So I think all the evolutions are cute.
Yeah, Umbreon is a pretty cool looking one as well.
I like Umbreon. I love Sylveon though. Like I think when they added Sylveon, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Sylveon. I love Jolteon. I love Flareon as well. I think Flareon doesn't get a lot of love. What else is there?
I think Mew as well. Mew is just so cute but so powerful.
See, I've read some things where like people think that Mew is just a cat fetus. It's like,
oh God.
I mean, to a circumstance, to an extent, they're not wrong. we don't even know what Mew is, because like Mew is like the DNA of like every Pokemon or something, right?
I think so,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, we know like Mewtwo is like looks like a full-on fledged alien, but like Mew, we don't even know what Mew is. Like it's just it's like Ditto. We don't even know what Ditto is. It's just a bunch of sludge, but like Ditto could transform into anything, right?
I was gonna say as
I
well.
think,
Did you ever see the original Pokemon movie, or am I showing my age? Where you used to get like the video. This was back before DVD, and it was yellow, and it was so cool because it was a yellow video, and it was like Mew versus Mewtwo, and you have that like heartbreaking moment where Ash dives between the two of them and gets turned to stone, and Pikachu just balls his eyes out.
yeah, that's crazy to see. Like I haven't like because like when I started like when I started playing Pokemon when I was younger, this is when like Diamond and Pearl was a thing. Like I was playing my first game was Soul Silver, so the remake of the Johto games. But I did see the film. I saw the Mewtwo film, and it was horrible. Like, what the fuck? The guy just turned into stone.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, bro's dead. Like, we really just killed off the character.
Yeah, the main character, like.
And like, I think what does like Mewtwo like erase Nurse Joy's mind or some shit? Like, or like, he definitely erases someone's mind in that film. And it's like. The original Pokemon wasn't fucking kidding, man. Like,
they weren't messing around.
But like all the like newer films now are like all more heartfelt or like more like, you know, not insane like that.
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, like Pikachu just fuck. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Like, you remember the very first episode of Pokemon where like Pikachu just electrocutes Ash? Like, and and I've seen theories of that Pokemon is literally just Ash in a coma.
Oh, that's the same
Like-
for everything though, because that's like Harry Potter as well, isn't it? Where it's like the greatest sentence that J.K. Rowling could have ever put in any of those books would have been at the end of the last book to just go, and then Harry woke up back onto the stairs. None of it had ever happened.
That'd be so boring.
That'd be so bad though.
Funny
like,
though.
It would be so funny, but so boring because like, how do you make such a cool story like that and then like?
It's like, oh, yeah. By the way,
yeah, Psych. It never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like with Pokemon to be like that, I think it's crazy because like Ash literally could have just died that first episode and then that's it.
Yeah, that's him done.
Like, but then if Ash just woke up one day and said, "Oh, Pokemon never happened," nuts. That's crazy.
That'd be pain.
Like that. Oh, like how many years has Pokemon been going on now? Like fucking decades now.
Oh yeah, ages.
Like 30 years, I think.
Yeah. It's up there.
When did Pokemon come out? It was like 1996. So
yeah, 20.
Could you imagine in like the next 10 years they finally end the Pokemon anime and it's like, yeah, Ash woke up.
To be fair, Ash is out of it now. I'm pretty sure. I think he had his last episode there like a year ago. So really? I'm not sure who's in it now, but I know they were like, yeah, this is the end for Ash Ketchum.
Isn't he like the main guy?
Yeah, but I think they might have someone new now. But I remember seeing that of like people were gutted because they were finally being like, yeah, no, we're taking him out of it.
Yeah. Yes, Ash Ketchum left the Pokemon anime after 25 years to be replaced by new characters. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't even know that.
Crazy. It's just not the same anymore. Things were better back in my day.
Oh yeah, no, Pokemon was the shit. All the
on the Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I didn't play the Game Boy because obviously I'm not that old.
Wow. I just feel ancient now. Wow.
See, that's what I mean by like wording things. I'm terrible at it. I mean, it's like I don't know. Like I started playing on like the original like DS before the DSi even came out. So yeah. Oh god. Oh, that's a throwback. The fucking Nintendo DSs where you had like the picto chat and shit. Oh man.
Everybody has sat in that chat at some stage and completely blacked out the picto chat thing. Like, yeah. Everybody.
Like you're not doing anything on the picto chat other than just like getting the black pen and just filling that shit out.
Yeah. And then everybody had those like games that you weren't meant to have, you know, the illegal ones with like 50 games on them.
I didn't even know that. Like,
oh yeah, no, it was like your bootleg ones. You could get them, and they had like 50 games on them. They were sick.
What? That's crazy.
It was awesome.
Oh, So did people just like did they just like jailbreak the DSs, or like they have
Pretty
like a
much.
cartridge?
It was like the cartridge, like you could buy it off some. It was scuffed, like you buy it, and then there was just all these games on it that somebody had obviously bought all the games, figured out a way to get them off each of their individual ones, and just put them on a load of blank ones.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's what. Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mum
piracy at
cooked
its
my
best. Hmm?
My mum cooked my DS.
You
Okay.
cooked it?
How?
Did you? What?
No, it was on the stove and she put it on and she didn't bring it.
Wait, oh, she actually cooked it. What?
Fair
Yeah, it was
enough.
like melted.
Hey man, some things taste great when they're cooked, you know.
Yeah. Put some salt and pepper on that.
Oh yeah. Salt, pepper, vinegar. Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh man, like, bring me back to those days. But unfortunately, technology is. Well, I would say unfortunately, technology is on its rise. You know, like there's so much more. Like a lot of the things are on like all online now. Everything's very much like you're either on a PC or a console. You cannot really own anything else that's smaller. Because like, do you remember PSPs?
Ah, PSPs were goated.
What a throwback! I used to play the Invisibles game, so you had the camera and shit. Oh, that was the time. Oh, that's great. I love that game so much.
It was peak gaming. Like that was
Yeah,
so ahead of its time. Like when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, what is this? This is sick."
It's like that in Skylanders. I think it was that in Skylanders for like two of the games.
Skylanders was awesome.
Yeah, it was like it's so ahead of its time. Like it shouldn't even be existing for what it was. And like Invisibles was like, oh yeah, here's like this 3D animal, like 3D character that just came out of like in like that you can't see in real life, but you can see it on a camera, and it's like you fight each other and stuff. Oh, that's so much fun. And you get like you have to get the right color as well for that character, and it's like, oh man. And then in Skylanders, where you had like all the figures to collect, you put them on the pole and they come in the game. Oh,
Skylanders, like getting your mom
man.
to buy you the new Skylander.
Yeah.
Like there was like, because obviously you got like the starter ones, right? You had like Spyro and you had like the
Trigger
Gill
Happy.
dude, Trigger Happy as well, yeah. And I remember getting that for Christmas Day. I was so happy. And then it was all about collecting them, finding them at Tesco. Like I would go to like fucking. When my mom would go shopping, I'd go to Tesco, go have a look at the Skylanders. Which ones do I not have? Yeah. And I remember when there would be some Skylanders you can't like find like all the time because they're super rare to find.
Yeah.
And I think one of them that I really wanted was one of the fire ones. I still remember the name, and they're called Sunburn, and it was just a Phoenix character, I think. And I remember I was with my mom and gran, and I got given like a box of Sunburn, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "How did you even find this?" And it was just like in another Tesco, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like I was just blown away. Like, how do you find this character? It's just another bunch of story, you know?
It's a Tesco.
Yeah, it's not just a random Tesco. It's like, okay, perfect.
I think my favorite was Stealth Elf.
Stealth Elf was cool, man. Like, was that an air character? I can't remember.
I think it was a green. What was it, like a elemental? I don't know what like a leaf. Is it just leaf?
I don't think it's just called Leaf. I think there's a name to it.
Life.
I'm googling them right now.
Oh, Life.
Oh,
yeah.
was it called Life? Yeah. Yeah, Stealth Elf. There we go.
I'm looking through a list of them here. You could get Crash Bandicoot as one.
What the
What?
fuck? I didn't know that.
Apparently.
In the original game, or is this like in a new one?
I don't
This will be the
know.
new one.
But
It's
you
gotta
could
be
get
the new one, right?
Bowser and Crash Bandicoot. It must be the new one. It can't be.
Yeah, because that's
the
definitely not
original.
the original.
Do you guys like Disney Infinity?
I've never
Oh, I
played
did
it.
play that. I did play that a little bit, but I didn't really get into it as much.
Oh, really? I like the
Um,
second one with the Marvel characters.
I think the I remember playing it on my friend's like PlayStation, and then I had it on the Wii myself. But on the Wii, the graphics were fucking like tragic. They were so bad. But like you play them on like the Xbox or the PlayStation, and like the graphics were like infinitely better. It was so sad to see. But I thought the game was okay, but I don't think it hit as hard as Skylanders personally. Oh my lord.
Definitely not.
This brings me back, man. Drobot? Oh my goodness. And then my goat Zap. My goat Chemo. Oh my lord.
Oh, Zap is so good.
Yeah, this throws me back, man. Oh man. like. Do you remember did anyone play? Did any of you guys play Giants?
Yeah,
Like, I don't think I enjoy Giants enough.
I remember the guy with the big eye on his
Um,
head.
hang on, can't just
Obviously,
Giants.
there's the original guy with like who's a tree. But
Oh yeah.
you could use all your old characters on that still.
Oh.
Yeah, because you could use because I think they got different models, right? All the Oh no, I don't think you got different models. They just like all the original like Spyro's Adventure characters you can still use in the Giants game.
Yeah, then they
yeah.
kind of got rid of that because you had to like mix them together or something.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know, like
Yeah, that's when it fell off.
It's
But
always
yeah,
when people start to, or like when companies start to overcomplicate stuff that it just ruins it, innit?
yeah, like keep it simple, just add more characters. Like you're already doing well, so why would you like want to change things?
I've got one that'll bring you back, by the way. Do you guys remember Beyblades?
Oh yeah. Oh, what a time.
Back in the day.
Oh man.
I need to stop saying back in the day. It makes me sound so old.
Back in the day.
Like that shit got banned in our school, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because like people take like as kids you take things too seriously.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
And so
too comp.
I think a lot of us did, yeah. Or like some people are just like I don't know, take it like stealing as well. Like so but I had this one Beyblade, fucking unbeatable. It was gold. I think it was called the Hades Carbax. Oh, it was good. And I remember watching the anime as well. Do you remember the fucking intro? Like the Beyblade, let it rip.
The
Oh, what a banger.
intros. The anime was so good.
But oh yeah, I love this. But I don't know if they
I remember having Beyblade and it had like a metal strip in the middle of it. Like genuine metal. And it was so good. And then I think after that they changed them to completely plastic.
I was gonna say I thought all the original Beyblades had metal on them, right?
I think so, because but I remember this one, it was like luminous yellow and this like jagged metal around it, and I was like, my god, they would never release a toy like that ever nowadays.
Oh yeah, no, like
you just have kids like throwing at each other, giving each other like
for a fact, did you guys like obviously rip your Beyblades and then like you put your finger to just feel what it felt like when it was spinning? Yeah, I did that and it was a very bad idea. That shit hurts.
That's a very
another thing that came out. I don't know if it came out at the same time, but like it was also popular at the same time. Do you guys remember Bakugan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I could never get mine to stand up when you rolled it though. They kept falling over, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'm shit at this.
You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna roll this, and it just falls over. You're like, okay, no, I need to just stand. With the magnetic cards and stuff, yeah, no, that's really cool. I love the anime. Watched the anime all the time when I was younger. Yeah, like I'm just. It's a shame that they've changed things now. But the original Bakugan, oh god, that was the shit. And I had that on the DS. The DS was so much fun. Like, oh man,
so good.
Fucking love Bakugan, man. That's one of my favorite shows. When I was younger.
See, I always loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Whenever I was like growing up. It was just the goat for me.
See, I didn't discover Yu-Gi-Oh! Until I was in college. Yeah, so I knew Yu-Gi-Oh! Existed. I just never played it. And then I played. My first introduction to Yu-Gi-Oh! Was Duel Links. I'm sorry. Because it's not really proper Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just on the phone, right? But I still played it and really enjoyed it. And yeah, I just delve into like the anime and stuff, watched that a bit, and I realized that the original manga had fucking guns in it, dude. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't play around in the manga. Like that's nuts.
I remember having the 3 god cards in like primary school and just feeling like an absolute legend, and then I'd left them in my school trousers, and my ma like washed my school trousers, and they came out just this one big gloppy mess. I couldn't believe it.
No, your life is gone.
Yeah.
I have a whole resistance on those cards.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, Jesus, if I had kept them in decent condition and not got them destroyed, probably worth something because they're like original ones. It's like Pokemon and all has made you think, Jesus, if you just fucking kept like 1 or 2 boxes of cards from back then. You'd be minted now.
Mhm.
Oh, like I've got this poster of Yu-Gi-Oh on my wall that I got from Comic-Con, and it's like it moves, right? So like you move your head, and it would change from like Yugi and like Slifer, like the Slifer in the background, like Yugi's like got his like card out in his hand or whatever, and you move and it goes to Kaiba, and then you move again, it goes to the other guy who I forgot the name of.
Pegasus.
He's like is that his name?
Oh no, maybe it's
Hang
Joey. Is it Joey Wheeler?
No, it's not Joey. It's the one with because they've got all the three like god cards, right? There's Slifer, they have Obelisk, and there's the other one I forgot the name of.
Winged Dragon of Ra. That would be Pegasus then, would
Winged
it?
Dragon of Ra. No,
He's
it's not
in like
Pegasus.
a red suit and long white hair.
No, it's not. It's not Pegasus. It's the Alpha Pharaoh. I think his name's Yami.
Oh yeah,
Yami Marek. That's his name.
that's the one.
Yeah, Yami Marek. That's the other one. Yeah. So it would be him and Kaiba and Yugi. And it's really cool poster. I really like that. And I've got the same ones for Dragon Ball as well. Like they're changing forms and stuff. It's really cool. I like posters like that. I don't like the way it feels though, because it's got like really like zingy feeling, and it's like, ugh.
I know what you mean. But yeah, I think then the best way to end this podcast is to hand the power over to you and let you pick the streamer spotlight. So we kind of shout out a streamer every week. And this week, it is all over to yourself. So who do you want to shout out?
I just like anyone. Like wait, how does this work?
Anyone you want, any streamer that you want to shout out.
I'd say shout out to Will, my goat Will. I also shout out to Derry, even though he doesn't stream too much, but he's also entertaining to watch. My bad. Who else? God, I'll be honest, I haven't been on Twitch for like a while, so like I've forgotten. Like, yeah, shout out to Slash as well. Like, I like with the 20 coming up as well, and she's also just a lovely human being in general. What else? Trying to think. Tally and Laura, absolutely good, amazing friends. I know they don't really do like they're kind of just like doing studying streams now, and it's really chill just to like relax in that and like have that on in the background.
Awesome.
And I think there's probably some obvious people that I'm forgetting. Oh, Lel. Oh, of course, LelasaurusRex. Oh my god, amazing person. Like people think he's American, but he's actually Irish. Yeah, no. Lel's great. Like
if someone called Stumpy American, he would not be
I'd be fuming.
No, but I can hear the Irish in the accent, to be fair. But like,
yeah, big dirty Irish accent on me.
But with Lel, you hear Lel, it's like you can kind of hear the Irish, but you also don't. So it's like I can see why people call him American. It's hilarious. Yeah, like there's probably other people I'll shout out. People that still kind of stream every now and then or stream regularly. Like Lel, for example, streams all the time, but Derry doesn't. So it's like that.
Like, yeah, that's a good place to end it then, if you're happy enough.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us, Mr. Roseblade. It has been an absolute pleasure. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, for the people listening, this is the longest podcast, by the way, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, until next week then, we will be back eventually. Good luck.